All right, welcome to Music Theory 102, Chord Scales. We'll stay in the key of C. It's all white keys. If we go to the second note of the scale, we're going to play every other note. Skip the E, play the F. Skip the G, play the A. Now, if we go to the third note of the C scale, we're going to build a chord off of that note by playing every other note. Skip the F, skip the A. And then if we want to go to the fourth note of the C scale and play a chord, skip the G, skip the B, and so on. Did that make sense? Now that we have the chord scale in C, based on every other note, we can do something really cool. Instead of naming the chords after letters, C, D, E, and so on, we're going to name them after numbers. This would be the 1 chord because it starts on the first note of the C scale. But then when we start on the second note of the C scale, it would be called the 2 chord. If we start on the third, it's going to be called the 3 chord, and so on. 7 different possibilities, and 8 is the same as 1. Why do I tell you that? Well, what's interesting about the chord scale and the number way of designating those chords is that the 1 chord will always be a major chord, where the major third's on the bottom and the minor third's on the top. The 2 chord will always be a minor chord. The 3 chord will always be a minor chord. The 4 chord is always going to be major, baby. And the 5 chord as well. 6 chord is always minor. And the 7th chord is a diminished chord. It feels like it's almost there, we're almost there. And then the 1 chord again at the top. Okay, so now that we have the numbers for each of the chords, we could switch the key we're playing in. Instead of playing in C, we could play the major scale in the key of G. And remember, it's the same pattern: whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. But now let's apply the number theory. So this is the 1 chord, always major, 2 chords always minor, 3 chords always minor, 4 chord major, 5 chord major, minor, and diminished. And then back to the beginning. Okay, so now we have enough stuff to really have some fun. Are you ready to have some fun? If you know the chord scale and how to build them in any key by going every other note of the scale, and you know the number theory, we can start to put together some patterns that you hear a lot in pop music. So there is a very popular one called the 1-5-6-4 pattern. So let's take a look at the notes. That's going to be the 1, so a C chord. 1-5, so we'll go up to the 5th note of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be the G chord. Then to 6, which is going to be the minor chord. 6s are always minor. And then to 4 is always major. So now let's play the 1-5-6-4 together. Let's say, I don't know, 2 beats per chord. Instead of playing it up, I'm going to play the G chord down. It sounds better. And then let's do each for 4 beats. And you can hear how all pop songs are built off the 1-5-6-4. Not all, but so many. We also can now do the 2-5-1, which is how a lot of songs end. And then the 12-bar blues is 1-4-1, 5-4-1-5. We won't go into that now, but you can check it out in another video. So now that you have number theory, you can really play together on almost any song that you would get in a worship team or in a band setting. They would just tell you the numbers. Do the 1 chord, the 2 chord, the 3 chord, and the 4 chord. 1, 2, ready, go. And you can have any combination and it'll be amazing.